Have you ever started off on a road trip, um, taking a journey, taking a maybe a new project, and you've got this goal that you want to achieve or this project that you want to get done, and one of the questions you ask is, how are we even going to get there? Or another question is, can we even do it? Can we even get there? Hi, Mark Schinner from the porch today with your Tuesday Truths, talking this week about setting smarter goals. And I like to really kind of talk to you in terms of this being your to-do list for life. Because a lot of people say, oh, Mark, I've set goals before and they didn't work. Well, you didn't do it right. You didn't set them the right way. You probably weren't taught how to do it right. And most of them are only wants and wishes. So this week, I'm teaching you how to set smarter goals, goals that you can actually achieve. And you can go back to the beginning, 2 days ago this week, and start from the beginning if you want. But I'm using the acronym SMARTER to talk about how to set smarter goals. Sometimes you'll hear it in terms of setting SMART goals, but there are a couple of characteristics that needed to be added, so it's SMARTER. So today, I want to talk to you about being able to achieve your goals, making sure that they are attainable. You know, goals are the path to your hopes and dreams. That's why we need to set them. If you don't know where you're going, how will you know when you get there? And that's part of what Attainable is all about. When you set a goal, so on 2 days ago, we talked about your goal needs to be specific. It needs to be very specific of what you want, not I want to make a lot of money, I want to have a new car. You know, to be very specific. Put a dollar amount on it, describe the car you want, describe the house you want, describe the job you want. Whatever your goal is, it's got to be very specific. Yesterday we talked about it needs to be measurable. So you need to have a way to measure what this is you are going after so that you'll know when you get it. So you either need to put a date on it. So I want a 2021 whatever car, describe it, red, with tan leather interior, blah, blah, blah. Don't say I want. I have. I screwed it up myself. To be specific, I have a 2021, describe it, on January 1st, 2021. So you need to be specific as to what you want, when you want it, and in some way you can measure whether you get it or not. Today, it needs to be attainable. That's the A in SMARTER, attainable. You have to make sure you can actually achieve your goal, especially if they're short term. If you have a short-term goal that you want to achieve in the next 30 days, 90 days, you need to make sure you can actually attain it. Now, that doesn't mean you set it so short that, yeah, I can get that. No. We'll talk about some more of that this week. But it's got to be a goal that you can at least get to with some effort and pushing outside of your comfort zone. Because if you don't, and it doesn't take a lot of effort, if it's too easy for you, then you'll probably give up on it. You know, it should be within reach, but not so easy that it just takes so little effort, because if it's too easy for you, you won't be motivated. I mean, you might achieve it, and that'd be wonderful, but you won't be motivated to move on because, like, well, that was pretty easy. I can set a goal anytime and reach it. So you won't be motivated to reach for bigger goals. So when you make your goal specific and measurable, you need to make sure that you can attain this goal, but it's got to be far enough out there to make you stretch. If it's too hard and it's too far, you'll just get frustrated and give up. So you've got to find that happy medium, not too close and too easy where you just say, well, that was no big deal, but not too far that says, I'll never get there. How am I going to do this? I might as well just quit. So you got to find that happy medium, whatever that is for you. You know, when the example I'm using this week is when I lost weight. You know, I had stepped on the scales a couple of years ago and weighed 250 pounds, and I said, I'm done. That's 1/8 of a ton. Not doing it. Not going any higher. So I said, okay, you need to eat less, get a little more exercise. But then it was about a year later I decided to actually set a goal, because that's what I do. And so I wrote down, and that's the other key, make sure you write down your goals. When you write down your goals, you have a 42% greater chance of achieving the goal. And when you write it down, you've created something that never existed before. And you can see it, and you can read it, and you should read it every day. So I wrote down, I weigh 195 pounds. At the time I wrote that goal, I weighed probably about 240, I'm guessing. So this was, what, 45 pounds? And so it was very specific. I put a weight on it, and I wrote it as if it existed. I weigh 195 pounds. It was measurable, because any day of the week I could step on the scales and say, what do you weigh? How close are you to your goal? And so I could measure my progress from here all the way down to here, where I was headed, measure my progress. I set a 6-month goal. And when you look at it and you divide, what is that, 45 pounds, 6 months, that's about 26 weeks, comes out to less than 2 pounds a week. That's very attainable. Now, for somebody who has just been kind of slowly over time putting on weight, you might think, oh, 2 pounds a week, I mean, that's 8 pounds a month. It's quite a bit, but it's 2 pounds a week. It's less than 2 pounds a week. So for me, it was an attainable goal. It wasn't something that was very short. You know, it's not like, oh, I want to lose 10 pounds in 6 months. No, losing 45 pounds in 6 months. Less than 2 pounds a week, I could do that. It was something that kept me motivated, and as I measured it and I saw the weight come down on my chart, it kept me motivated to keep pushing forward, because I had this goal that I knew I wanted to achieve in 6 months. It's all about momentum. Being able to measure your goal is about momentum. So as you see you getting closer and achieving smaller steps along the way, you get excited and you keep on going because you've built this momentum. Once you see that this goal is actually attainable, that you can actually get there, the momentum just keeps rolling, because it's like, oh wow, I'm actually going to make it. I'm actually going to achieve this goal. So make sure that when you set your goals, that it's something that you can actually attain. Not too easy, but not so hard that you give up. It's like climbing a flight of stairs. And you can see from the bottom to the landing at the top. The easiest thing is to take one step at a time. If you want to be a little more progressive and stretch your comfort zone, take 2. Take 2 steps at a time. If you say, well, I'm going to take 3 steps, you might be able to make the first jump, but I promise you, you're probably not making the second one unless you're about 16, maybe. So you have to make sure that it's not so far that you're going to give up. So, setting smarter goals. We've talked about it needs to be very, very, very specific what it is you want. As if it exists, write it down as if it exists. It needs to be, 2, it needs to be measurable. Something that has a date on it, has a number on it. Somehow you can quantify what it is you want so that you can measure it over time. And number 3, it has to be something that you can actually attain. Something you can actually achieve in your life. And that keeps you motivated and keeps you excited. So that's your Tuesday Truths for today, as we talk about setting smarter goals. Because once you learn how to set goals with the smarter framework, you will then know how to achieve any goal that you ever want to set in your life. Now, whether you put in the work is up to you, but you will now know how to set a goal, a to-do list for your life, and will be able to achieve it. I've created a 1-page PDF template with the smarter framework on it, and it explains what each one of them means to remind you so that you can use it to write your goals. I'm going to put a link to that here in the comments so that you can go get that and you can follow along, and you can use it to set your own goals, to create your own to-do list for life. Maybe let's stop talking about goals, because sometimes we don't like that term, and let's talk about a to-do list for life. So get that template. It's in the comments below, and start on the road to achieving and attaining the goals, the dreams that you want for your life, for you and your family. This is Mark Schinner again from the porch. Have a great day, and I'll be back with another step in the Smarter Framework tomorrow.